Today, guys, I want to show you the easiest scalping strategy that I use every single day in the Forex markets because it's fast, easy, and it actually works whether you're scalping or let's say day trading. And when I say that this scalping strategy is so easy and yet damn profitable, take a look at these results where 9 out of 10 trades that I took hit my take profit target. So if you ever try to scalp the markets with an overly complicated trading strategy, look no further because this scalping strategy can actually help you become consistently profitable in the Forex market. So this scalping strategy uses just 2 moving averages, and even though they do lag, I will show you my personal way on how to filter out the bad trades and find highly profitable ones so you can scalp the markets, daily with the full confidence. Okay guys, so before I show you this easy scalping trading strategy, let's quickly clear it up what scalping really means in day trading. So scalping is pretty much when you are trading on a very low time frame charts like the 1 minute or 5 minute charts, and the markets moves fast and you are quickly in and out of the trades, grabbing small but consistent profits multiple times daily. And it's essentially faster like a short-term form of day trading because, well, you are taking advantage of quick momentum moves in the Forex market, but it's definitely not the same as swing trading or long-term investing because scalping is all about momentum and precision, so you're never aiming to catch the whole, market trend. Instead, you are just targeting the most cleanest and easiest part of the move to trying to profit from. Okay guys, so with that being said, let's jump into the actual trading tools of this scalping strategy, and we will use two simple indicators. So the first one will be the 50 period simple moving average, and the second one will be 200 period simple moving average. That's it. It's very simple and easy. Now these two moving averages act as your main scalping guide. So the 50 simple moving average shows you the short-term momentum, while the 200 SMA indicates the longer term direction of the Forex market. So when the 50 SMA is below the 200 SMA, we are in a bearish trend. And when the 50 SMA is above the 200 SMA, we are in a bullish trend. So I personally like to use the 1 minute, 5 minute and 15-minute charts to establish a clear trading bias before I even start scalping the markets daily. But later in this video, I will actually show you how exactly I combine these two moving averages with supply and demand zones to filter out those bad trades and increase profitability in my scalping trading strategy. Okay, so moving on, how do we identify the scalping setup to trigger our first trade? So once we have both moving averages on our chart, our goal is very simple. What we have to do is to wait for the price to move sharply away from these moving averages. Now this sharp move is what we call an impulse move. So after the market makes a clear impulse leg, I then wait patiently for the price to pull back toward the 50 SMA line. Now in a strong trending market, this pullback usually retraces around 25 to 50% of that initial impulse move, and this zone right at the retracement back toward the impulse candlestick and the 50 SMA is exactly where high probability scalping trades live. Now this quick retracement is an easy entry zone for your daily scalping strategy because 9 out of 10 times the market will give you a very small bounce or let's say a pop right at these levels. And the reason why it's so profitable is because we are also using supply and demand on top of the two moving averages, and I will show you how it all works in a real-time example right now. So now that you understand the essence of the scalping trading strategy, let's just jump straight into the real-time example so you can fully grasp it, because as we know, trading has a lot of nuances and nothing is ever textbook perfect, so listen up carefully. Okay, so this is Euro USD on a 15-minute time frame, and our only goal here is to clearly identify whether the moving averages show a bullish or bearish trend. Now as you can see in this scenario, the trend is clearly bullish, which is perfect because the 50 SMA is on top of the 200. Next, we go down to the 5-minute time frame, and on the 5-minute time frame, your goal here is to identify your potential potential entry zone. And in this case, we can clearly see that the market has recently formed a fresh demand level right over here. So what we do is we simply wait patiently for the price to retrace back to this demand zone before we even thinking about scalping a trade. And as you can see, the price has now touched our 5-minute demand zone, and since this zone is fresh, meaning it has been never tested before, it gives us an even higher probability of a profitable price bounce. And if we want to quickly measure how deep the pullback is, we can see that it's right in that ideal 40 to 50% retracement area. And I would say that that's the perfect entry area for our scalp trade. So now we have to quickly drop to the 1-minute time frame to refine our entry even further and confirm the momentum. Now guys, please keep this in mind that with this scalping trading strategy, the 50 and 200 SMA lines don't necessarily need to physically touch the candlesticks, because we primarily trading the pullback into supply and demand zones, and these moving averages, they just simply gives us an extra layer of confluence and clarity of the market direction. So now I would say that we would confidently enter the trade expecting a very clear bounce from our demand zone, and I would enter just on this bearish candlestick bouncing from the 50 moving average. Now when it comes to your stop loss, we want to cover the full demand zone, plus you want to add an additional 33% buffer so we don't get stopped out prematurely. Now in this case, the demand zone is around 6 pips, so plus 32%, that would be around 2 pips, so this would leave us with a stop loss of 8 pips. And for our take profit, we want to target the previous high, so in this case would be just around this level, which also aligns perfectly with our supply zone, so just like that, and I'm going to make it red. And in my trading experience using the scalping trading strategy, this just makes the easiest and the most logical place to secure your money. So to quickly recap our scalping strategy, right over here we have the 15-minute chart for the overall market direction. We have 5-minute chart to spot the demand zones because, well, the market is bullish. You want to bounce from the demand. If that would be a bearish, then you would look for a supply, for, the bounce from the supply, and you want to go down. And then we have the 1-minute chart for precise entry timing for our trade. So now if we just go ahead and play the replay tool on, as you can see, the trade has beautifully hit my take profit target, simply because it's a bounce from a demand zone that was never touched. It's a fresh zone, and of course we also have the 50 SMA line to back it up. And when I said earlier on that there's nothing textbook perfect, and I will show you in a moment how to filter out the bad trades, but this EURUSD trade was just textbook perfect, god damn it, and my fingers were itchy to press the buy button because everything aligned so perfectly, so I ended up making a lot of money from this trade actually. But this is the trade that you can actually, guys, replicate it and use daily to make consistent money in the forex market, if you wish to, of course. Now guys, listen up, because if you want to become a consistently profitable scalper or trader, day trader, swing trader, any trader at all, you absolutely need to know how to filter out your trades, because with this particular scalping strategy, you don't want to take every single pullback in the market. Now, you must avoid taking trades when the 50 and 200 SMA lines, especially on the 15-minute time frame, are flat as a pancake or tangled. Because when these two moving averages are flat or they crossing back and forth, it means the market has no clear direction or momentum. So something like this is exactly what I would avoid, and you should avoid too. Now, another easy way I filter trades daily is by using supply and demand zones. So sometimes I just prefer setups where there is 5-minute demand zone inside a larger 15-minute demand zone. So for example, this is GBP USD on a 15-minute time frame, and I already see a strong demand zone right over here. I'm gonna make it yellow. No, not yellow. Yeah. So here we go. We're gonna call it this big brother because, well, it's on a 15-minute time frame. Now, if I go to the 5-minute time frame, I can already see another demand zone. So this would be just around here, and this would be 5-minute demand zone, and we're gonna call it a small brother. So what I'm trying to tell you that this clear alignment of multiple time frames shows a very strong institutional momentum at that zone, and it's not just a random market noise. What it does is just simply gives me a far more confidence that the scalp trade will likely hit my profit target and become profitable. And this will be a perfect trading example of how combining supply and demand zones with the moving averages can dramatically improve your scalping results. I would say that scalping is truly one of the easiest and fastest ways to build a confidence as a trader, but of course remember guys that it also demands discipline and focus daily. What I would suggest you to do is to stick to your trading rules, don't chase every single move in the market, and always manage your risk accordingly. So once you consistently apply this simple yet powerful moving average scalping trading strategy along with the supply and demand, you will quickly realize that how profitable easy trading can actually be. So if you found this scalping strategy helpful, make sure to leave a like and a comment down below. And I also invite every single one of you to join my Forex Signals group. There will be a first link in my description box down below. And if you want to continue to improve your trading and of course boost your profitability, then I highly recommend watching this video next right over here to further progress as a trader. But for now, thank you very much for watching and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!